He states, from July 2014 to December 2024, I was the exhibit clerk serving in the SAPS 13 exhibit room at SAPS Maiden Wharf. And it says, my duties entail the receiving, safeguarding, and releasing of exhibits at the SAPS Maiden Wharf. All items seized at crime scenes or found, and here's the emphasis, within the Durban Harbour police area must be handed in as exhibits at the Maiden Wharf police station. So in his understanding, where Durban Harbour police have jurisdiction, everything seized there must go to them. That's it. You agree that's what he says?
That's what he says,
Okay.
I agree.
And now you and I have agreed that in terms of the CHC depot falls under the Durban Harbour, falls within the Durban Harbour police area. We agreed that yesterday. We just confirmed this morning.
Yes, yes.
Okay. You seem like you want to take issue with what Captain Moolman says. What is your issue?
Yes, Commissioner, I'll still maintain that the Maiden Wharf would not ordinarily receive exhibits that were seized in the Isipingo policing area. It's not the norm. He's speaking of exhibits seized within his policing area. I'm not familiar with any such case that we have on record where we've now transferred exhibits from one of those identified depots to Maiden Wharf. It hasn't happened.
I have a difficulty with your answer because you seem to ignore something I thought we had established. You have accepted that the CHC depot is within the harbour area under, in whose jurisdiction or in whose area the Durban Harbour police have jurisdiction.
Yes.
We have accepted that. The SOP tells us that, in fact. I'm not making it up, right? Mm-hmm. So if that is in the area, in the Durban Harbour police area, as per the SOP, right?
Yes.
Then he's got to be right. It can't be the Isipingo. You seem to want to take the CHC depot out of the harbour area, locate it physically somewhere so that it falls under Isipingo. And I struggle with that notion. So maybe if you try again, because I'm not getting it.
Commissioners, I've never known of one case of us or even any other station that where these depots, designated depots, are situated. I've not known of one case of those exhibits now being sent to Maiden Wharf because they fall under Durban Harbour policing area. Police jurisdictions are police jurisdictions. Your precinct of where your station is based, you are then responsible for exhibits from that area. So although there can be this SOP or any other document, the station caters to their area. When he talks here, Warrant Officer Moolman, he says must be handed in as exhibits at the Maiden Wharf police station. This also includes exhibits seized or found by other SAPS units, and he goes on. But he doesn't allude to, in my opinion, and maybe I'm reading it incorrectly, to say that even items or...
There have been witnesses here, and they've been engaged extensively by the commissioners about available police stations in and around the CHC depot. You had that engagement with the chair this morning. We counted Maiden Wharf. We counted, before we get to Isipingo, I think we counted Mbilo, we counted Durban Central, correct?
We did count.
Yes. On your reasoning, then they must not come into play because we are not in their jurisdictions. They were discussed because they were available facilities within the general area before we go to Port Shepstone. Why then do they come into consideration if they're not applicable? I don't understand anymore, Colonel.
Like I'm saying, Commissioner, I can't give you an answer, but I know that we have never, ever stored exhibits from Isipingo at Maiden Wharf or Mbilo at Maiden Wharf Station. This statement, from what I'm reading, it doesn't tell me that.
Then I'll go back to your paragraph 30, your statement. Now, your statement, and once again is the engagement you had with the chair, and your statement to the commission, you say, I then called Brigadier Nyuswa and told them that I had exhausted all avenues and that he should secure a storage location for the drugs. What all avenues could you potentially have exhausted if you were bound to go to only one place, which is Isipingo?
I've been reprimanded for it, Commissioner. But
No, that was a different issue. I'm raising a completely different issue now. When you say you exhausted all avenues, why did you even try to exhaust avenues when you know you can't go there? When you know there are no avenues to exhaust in the very first place?
I think what I meant by that is that I acknowledged that those stations that General Flynn now had mentioned
Yes.
were already carrying our exhibits for.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So those were the avenues you considered perhaps potentially available to you.
Yes.
You had exhausted them in a sense that, as the chair pointed out, it implies that you either inquired and confirmed that they don't have space, or you know that they did not have space. Which is...
I did not inquire. I drew an assumption.
Okay, you drew an assumption. Now, staying with Maiden Wharf, we'll look at the others. Still on the same document, if you go over leaf, paragraph 4, I want us to start at 769. We're still with Captain Moolman's statement. Now, paragraph 4 lists records 6 seizures that were stored at SAPS Maiden Wharf from 8th May 2020, yes, 2020, 0508. That's the sixth one on page 769, until the 2nd of December 2024/1202. You see that? Do you see where I'm reading?
I can't see the 2024, Commissioner. What line?
It's at page 768, as I say.
768, yes.
They are listed, apologies, they are listed 1 to 6, with 1 being the latest and 6 being the earliest. Do you see that?
That's correct.
Now let's look at the earliest, which is at your page 769, that item 6. It's 32 kilograms of cocaine received on the 8th of May 2020. You see that?
Yes.
The next is item 5, which is the 999 kg cocaine received on 30th July 2021. You see that?
Yes.
Unless I am misreading this, it would appear that between that seizure of 30th July 2021 and May 2020, all he had was 32 kg of cocaine. So your seizure actually occurred before the 30th July 2021 seizure. So your assumption was wholly wrong, because after 6 weeks after your seizure, he could accommodate 999 kilograms. Your assumption was wholly wrong. Now, please explain to the commissioners on what basis could you even make it?
Okay. I'm going to try and explain it in this fashion, commissioners. If you look at this 999 kilos that was seized on the 30th of July 2021, these drugs were kept at the station for a period of 3 months before they were taken to the lab on the 12th of November 2022. No, 2021, sorry. My apologies.
Yeah.
It was taken to the lab on the 12th of November 2021. So, in effect, this 999 kilos would have still been at Maiden Wharf in their safe. And together with our 541 kilos, it would now mean that there's going to be 1.5 tons of our drug or of drugs at Maiden Wharf.
Is there a challenge with that? Is there a problem?
I'm not sure of their capacity, but my point being, Commissioner, was that these drugs lay at Maiden Wharf for 3 months And it was only subsequent or after the theft of the drugs in Port Shepstone that now the lab saw fit to start accepting these exhibits. It's only on the 12th of November 2021 that these exhibits, 999 kilograms of cocaine, together with those exhibits that were initially at Isipingo and then moved to Durban Central,
Yes.
it was only at that stage now that this 999 was fetched on the 12th of November, together with the 547 kilograms of mandrax. And at that stage, the lab had taken them up.
Yes.
So my point being that the SAP 13 safes get clogged up. So we were going to have 999 kilograms of cocaine there with another 500 kilograms, so that's 1.5 ton. I'm not sure of the storage capacity at Maiden Wharf, but that's a practical reason that...
May I point something, and I apologize for interrupting. You have the order wrong.
Exactly.
You would have taken up that space that the 900 subsequently took after 6 weeks.
Yes, okay.
So your space was assured, surely.
Yeah, okay.
And whoever, I think it was Colonel Sander who was responsible for the July 21 burst, that would have been his problem, not yours. Yours would have been resolved by then. So why do you worry about a burst still to happen?
I can accept that, but I still maintain, Commissioner, that the station has to cater for their own area, policing area, and more especially Maiden Wharf is one of the stations that regularly receives large amounts of drugs and exhibits from the harbour.
Just where's the logic in that? Where is the logic in that? Because 2 questions before, you were debating on the basis of the cumulative quantity of the 541 and the 999. Now you are told that, but you would have gotten space before the 999.
Yes.
Now I don't understand.
Okay, Commissioner, yes, I got it backward, Chair. My apologies. But
I'm trying to
yes.
understand the logic of what you said just now.
Yes.
Do you accept it's completely illogical?
Okay, I got it mixed up in terms of which exhibits reach first, Chair. I concede.
But that was clarified.
Yes,
Still
yes.
clarified to you.
Yes.
Clarified it to you.
Okay, but
And now you started giving some other explanation, the logic of which I simply do not understand.
okay, my point, I think, in essence, Chair, is that exhibits are continuously being entered at certain stations. Now, in the event my 541 kilos was accepted at
If the
Maiden Wharf.
999, let's not even use if, because they did accept the 999.
Yes.
So I can't see why they could not have accepted your 541.
Okay.
Do you accept that?
Yes, I accept.
In
it.
all probability, they would have accepted your 541.
Yes.
So what issue are we debating now?
Okay. Can I expand on that?
Please,
and I
yes.
hope I'm not going to annoy you, Chair, with this.
No,
but
I'm not in the least annoyed.
Okay.
No.
I'm saying, Chair, this is how it works. If my 541 kilograms was at Maiden Wharf, and like I say, I'm not sure of the exact capacity of their safe, and now they received 999. Most stations don't have capacity for over
That's
a ton.
Colonel Sanders' problem when he comes with the 999.
Okay, yes.
You already have your space.
Yes. So I'm saying, what would be the practical challenge, Chair? You would get a call from that station to say, we've got our own exhibits now. There's 999 that we need to store, and they've got my 540. It hasn't happened.
But that has nothing to do with what we are debating, which is why at the initial stage you did not go to Maiden Wharf. What happens down the line when there's 999 has nothing to do with why you were not the first at Maiden Wharf. Do you get my point?
I get your point, Chair.
So you basically have no answer to Ms. Silo's question. Do you accept that? It's as simple as all that. Do you accept that?
I accept it, but can I give a practical
thank
example?
Yes, okay, all right. No, go ahead and explain.
You know, back to my Simbiti case, the one in Umhlali policing area. Similarly, if we sat here today and those exhibits got stolen, I would have been asked, or say it got stolen from Brighton Beach, those chemicals that I said eventually ended up in Brighton Beach. one would have argued, why did I store those exhibits?
That's a different issue altogether, Colonel. That is a different issue altogether. What we are talking about now is the availability of storage space within Durban.
Mhm.
That's what we are
Yes.
debating.
Chair,
And you accepted when I engaged you earlier that you proceeded on the basis of an assumption. Now Ms. Silo is engaging you specifically about Maiden Wharf and is demonstrating to you that what you've been telling us lacks substance because someone who came, a colleague of yours, who came a month later, was able to get space for an even larger quantity of suspected cocaine. So this is about your decision at the initial stage. It has nothing to do with the possibility of theft down the line. And in any event, that could not have been your concern at the stage of where must this cocaine, suspected cocaine, be stored. Mr. Silo, you may comment if you want to.
just like I said, maybe I'm laboring on the point, but my point in mentioning the Umhlali case, Chair, was that stations did have capacity closer around to Umhlali. They did have the space
Exactly.
to store. They did have, in the case where eventually Brighton Beach assisted, the stations had the physical capacity in terms of their safes. If you looked at it, they could accommodate more than a ton. Why they didn't accommodate me, I can't answer you. But I failed.
When were you not, when is it that they did not accommodate you?
We did this in September 2020. And the reasons they cited, Chair, was not that they wouldn't even give...
What's that got to do with June 2021? What's that got to do with June 2021?
I think, Chair, I was just trying to show that my past experience showed me that stations won't...
Surely you could not base your decision on something that historical. You couldn't. You accepted earlier when I engaged you that you proceeded or you took your decision purely on the basis of an assumption. You've accepted that. And I think we should move on unless you again want to give some other explanation.
It's fine, Chair. Thank you.
I'm not gagging you. If you want to give some other explanation, you are free to.
No, it's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Sorry, Colonel, I want you to say this still on this document. It's a simple yes to say, looking at item 5, before July of 2021, before the 30th of July 2021, what it shows is that there was space to store 540 kilograms at Maiden Wharf. It's as
You
simple
put it
as
like that, Commissioner, yes.
Forget about September, October, the following year. Just looking at that, it's as simple as that.
Yes, I agree with you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner Kumalo. Colonel, staying with your statement, and I think you've touched on this slightly, I would like you to have regard to your paragraph 29, your statement now at page 5.
Is CJC, Commissioner?
No, your own statement,
My
your
own
statement to the Commission.
Okay.
Do you have it?
Yes.
Okay. Page 5, paragraph 29. You state in that paragraph, and I'll just read it out quickly. I knew that 2 police stations that normally assisted with storage, viz. Durban Central SAP and Brighton Beach SAP, still had exhibits from our drug seizures conducted in February 2020 and September 2020, respectively. I'll stop there. You see that?
Yes, yes.
Now let's talk about the September 2020. Is that the Umhlali seizure that you spoke of?
That's correct.
Okay. What was seized there and what was the quantity?
The exact quantities, I can't recall offhand.
Estimate, in this case,
yes,
we
we're
keep saying
looking at
540
tons.
kg. Yeah, but
Looking at maybe a ton of a precursor chemical.
a ton.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the February 2020 seizure, what was that?
That was the CHC depot. That was 547 kilograms of mandrax.
Of mandrax.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where these drugs are? Or at the time you were confronted with the 541, did you know where those drugs were? Did
Yes,
you know they were still at those respective police stations?
That is correct.
Okay. And it's on that basis that you say you then concluded, because the one was already holding a ton of chemicals and the other was holding 547 kilograms of mandrax, you concluded that they are not a viable option.
Yes.
Okay. I would like you to go to Exhibit 2, I think, yes, Exhibit 2. No, Exhibit File 2, that's the word I'm looking for. And to go to CJC 242. CJC 242, Chair, page 504.
Got it.
Have you located it?
Yes.
Do you know what that document is?
I can see the heading. It looks like major cocaine and heroin seizures.
Yes, and this is from the period 2020 to date, and whatever date is, but we can determine that. Do you know that document?
I haven't seen it per se. I haven't seen this specific document.
So you
Okay.
wouldn't know who
No,
the
no,
authors...
sorry, just one
Sorry.
second, Commissioner. It may be something that Yeah, but the front page does not look familiar, but this could be a presentation. Yes, it is something that I have prepared, Commissioner.
You prepared this document?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Oh, no, sorry. I prepared some of it. I see it's a mixture here, Commissioner. I
Yes.
don't want to mislead you. There's some other slides that I'm not familiar with, but the photos in the front and the Durban Harbour and all of that, I compiled a similar presentation.
now I'm talking about this one specifically. You contributed to this particular document.
I can't recall contributing to it.
I'll confirm that your seizure is in this document as one of the major heroin and cocaine seizures in that period. So it is dealt with in here. That would have been from your contribution, right?
Remember, Commissioner, these stats are released once we do a buy or a seizure or any success. It's out there in our space. So I can't say I was hands-on
No,
with this.
I can live with that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you remember I said this, you see from the title,
Yes.
it's major heroin and cocaine seizures from 2020 to date. I have determined that it probably is from March 2020. And the basis for that, and up to the 14th of October 2025. That's my estimate of the period.
Okay.
And the basis for that, you will find at page 570, which is a table of all these seizures over the relevant period.
Yes, I see that.
And I have determined that the last entry at 572 is dated for October 2025. Do you see that?
Yes,
At
I
page
see.
572.
Yes, I see that.
And so you don't have any challenge with my interpretation of what's stated in this document, that is for a period from March 2020 to October 2025?
Yes.
Okay, live with that. All right. Now let's go to page 570. Perhaps before we go to 570, the logical place to start would be page 514 of that document.
Got it.
Okay, now that's your seizure at 514.
That's correct.
Okay. So we know that it happened on the 21st of June, 22nd June 2021.
correct.
Now then, let's go to 570, which is the table of all these seizures. It's easier to work off that table. If you are there, I take it when this document tells me that it's about major heroin and cocaine seizures from a particular date from the DPCI KwaZulu-Natal Serious Organized Crime Unit, that's your office. That's where
That's
you
correct.
are based, right?
Yes,
And now you are a senior member within that outfit.
yes,
Yes, so your office tells us then at 570 that between March 2020 up until item number 6, those are the seizures that had been made in the Durban area.
yes, that's correct.
Okay. And then I do a very rudimentary arithmetic exercise, and I say what this document tells me is that from 2020, what was retained in the various police stations regarding these major seizures, my calculation is a total of plus minus 61 kilograms in all police stations. I must say, I exclude the 18,300 heroin capsules because I have no idea what they could potentially weigh, and item 2, and I also exclude part of item 4, which is 220,000 heroin capsules. You can give them any weight you want, but I dare say we don't even reach 100 kilograms by the time you have your seizure at item 6. Do you see that?
Yes,
And this I'm informed of by your office,
yes,
of which you are a part.
yes.
So it cannot be that there were storage problems. That's first. And secondly, please, in this document, find for me your seizures of February 2020, which you say is the 547 kilograms of mandrax, and your September 2020 reference there, which you said was a ton, I think, of some.
Yes.
Please
Yes.
find it for me
It's-
in this
it's-
presentation.
Yes, okay. Commissioner, it's serial number 4 on page 570.
Yes?
So we've got, this is misleading, right? Because it says heroin plus heroin capsules. I can confirm it was heroin capsules, mandrax precursors. There's a whole lot more. This is incomplete, Commissioner.
No, it can't be. So now you are telling us that an entire formal presentation by the DPCI is misleading.
I'm saying that.
And on what
Commissioner.
do you base? Please give us the facts to show that this is misleading and you have the right information.
This looks like it may have been compiled by a colleague at my office without consultation. I can say categorically that this is incorrect. And I'll also point out another incorrect statement by yourself, Commissioner. Go to the evidence.
No,
legal.
I'm not a commissioner.
This,
You are elevating me, sir.
The serial number 7, maiden wharf, 999 kilograms. That's the same 999, I think, that you had mistaken for the CHC depot. There's no 999 that was seized at CHC. So as the commander of the unit, I'm familiar with my cases. So I thought I'd point that out.
No, it's made in WAF, that 999 kg.
You said it was CHC depot.
I said it was CHC depot, but it was. We know it was registered at Made in WAF. We put it up there.
But it was not at the CHC depot, Commissioner.
And I did accept I may be wrong, but this document doesn't say anything about depot.
Now, I'm just pointing out of your
Oh, okay.
incorrect statement.
For what it's worth. It's about tea time now. If you maintain this document is incorrect, Chair is going
I'm
to
just
give
saying
us...
point 4, Commissioner. I'm saying point 4 is incorrect.
Okay, so you confine yourself to point 4.
Yes.
Then let's find the September 2020 seizure. It being a ton, that would be a major one.
Yes, that's the
I would
same one I'm
expect it to
speaking
be-
of, point 4.
Okay, then let's find the other one, the 547 kilograms mandrax, February 2020. I was struggling to find both. And you can't go beyond item 6 because item 6 is your seizure.
Yes. I don't see
Yes,
the 547,
that's my challenge as well.
yes.
So how do the commissioners accept that, in fact, you could not get storage for the 541 kilograms of cocaine because of a supposed 547 kilogram mandrake seizure which had taken up storage capacity somewhere? How do you persuade them of that if your own office document doesn't support that?
Once again, Commissioner, I'm saying to you that I bear no knowledge of this document. It's evident that somebody, I've got it on my memory stick here as well. I've done a presentation for SADEP that was presented in Cape Town at some conference. It's somewhat similar, but I see it's chopped and changed. I
Okay.
started off with this intro of the picture of Durban Harbour and giving an overview, but looking at this, the pictures, the writing, the grammar, I can suspect, I think I know where this came from. This was not sanctioned by my office. This is not an official document that's recognized by myself as the unit commander.
All right, let's, just to be sure, as I said, we are approaching T. If we are not at T already, perhaps it might be an opportunity